Hello everyone. This is Komati BJ working as an assistant professor in the EC department of R.M.K College of Engineering and Technology. And the subject we are going to deal with is object oriented programming, and the subject code is CS8392. And the unit we are going to cover is Unit 2, which is inheritance and interfaces. So, in this lecture, we'll try to cover the definition of inheritance and the syntax of inheritance, along with what are the different types of inheritance present in object oriented programming. Okay, so before moving on to the lecture, I want to ask you a question. So, what is inheritance? Okay, this inheritance in general terms, what is meant by that? You would have heard this word under many circumstances. You inherit your father's characteristics, you inherit your grandfather's characteristics, correcta? So when you're acquiring a part of characteristics from another person, okay, that is called as inheritance. Suppose, let's say there is you and your father. Suppose if you're acquiring the characteristics of your father, then it is called as inheritance. Okay, so what you're doing here, you're acquiring some of the characteristics of your father. That is called as inheritance. Okay. So keeping this idea in general, we'll move on to the next slides. So coming on to what is the definition of inheritance and where inheritance is used in Java, we'll just have a look onto it. See here, inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behavior of a parent object. So as I said before, if there is one object or a class called A, okay, and there's another class called class B. So if this class acquires the properties of this class, then it is called as inheritance. Okay, so to use inheritance, you have certain keywords which I'll say in the upcoming slides, but for general purpose and for your basic understanding, I'm saying it like this. Okay, and this idea behind inheritance in Java is that you can create new classes that are built upon existing classes. So once you have created these classes here and once you have assigned some properties and methods for these classes, with these properties and methods, you can create as many classes as you want with the help of inheritance. Okay. When I say it with an example, you'll understand it better. For now, keep in your mind that acquiring properties from another class is called as inheritance. Okay. So when you inherit from an existing class, you can reuse methods and fields of the parent class. So here, this is a parent class and this is a child class. So let us consider this as your father and this as you. Okay. So when you're inheriting some of the properties of your father, so some characteristics of the father will be used by you also, right? That's what this point is meant by. And moreover, you can add new methods and fields in your current class also. So apart from the characteristics you're acquiring from your father, you will also have some unique characteristics. Correct. So, what is inheritance? Inheritance is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. Okay, and here this child, that is the child class, can have its own unique characteristics also, and it also consists of the characteristics and methods consisted by the parent class. Okay, are you clear with this? Let's move on to the. So, what are the terms used in inheritance? So, we know there will be one parent class and one child class. Correct? So this is class parent and this is class child. So what is a class? A class is a group of objects which have common properties. And what is subclass or the child class? Subclass is a class which inherits the other class, that is the parent class, and it is also called as a derived class, extended class, or child class. In Java, you'll call the parent class as superclass and the child class as subclass. Okay. Usually, inheritance is a parent child relationship, and in Java, you'll call the parent class as superclass and child class as subclass. Okay. And coming on to parent class is the superclass from where a subclass inherits the features, and it is also called as a base class or parent class. This I already explained you now. And reusability. What is the main advantage of inheritance is that reusability. So as the name specifies, reusability is a mechanism which facilitates you to reuse the fields and methods of the existing class when you create a new class. Okay, suppose this is an already existing class and you're going to create a new child class here. So what you can do, instead of repeating all the code which are written here, you can directly use a certain keyword which is used in Java and inherit all the methods and properties acquired by the parent class without again re-mentioning it. So the keyword that is used in Java for the purpose of inheritance is extends. Okay, remember this word. In Java, if you need to use the properties of inheritance, you need to use this keyword. Okay, so moving on to the syntax of Java's inheritance. So as I said you, we'll have a parent class. Okay, class parent, and it will have its own methods and variables. Okay, wow. And then you're going to create a child class. So what you need to do here is that, see, you should concentrate here more. Let's give it as class and name it as a child class. And to use the inheritance concept in Java, what I said you should use the keyword called extends. Okay, so whom does the child class extends? The parent class, correct? So after extends you should mention it as parent. Extends parent, and this child class will acquire the properties of methods, or methods and variables of the parent class by using the keywords called extends, and it will have its own methods and variables. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of Java. So I'll repeat it once again. Here we have a class called a parent class, which is also called as superclass in Java. And this class will have its own methods and variables. And again, we are creating another class called child class, which inherits the properties of parent class. That is, it inherits the methods and variables of the parent class. In order to include this concept, we are going to use the keyword called extends and mention which class it is going to inherit. So here the parent class it is going to inherit. So we are going to use it as parent, and then this will inherit the methods and variables of the parent class. Along with this, it will have its own methods and variables. Okay, so in this video, we saw what is inheritance and what are the keyword which is used in inheritance purpose. That is, we use the extend keyword, and we saw the general syntax of Java's inheritance. In the next video, we'll see the basic words, that is keywords used in inheritance, along with types of inheritance and also examples along with it. Okay, thank you students.